Nightmare on Elm Street's one of those interesting things that is just so infamous that I think for a lot of kids, it's almost like a rite of adolescence or something.
What elevated it so much and what kept it around was the creation of a villain that you can't run from. So many of the other horror movies, horror franchises gave you something that was completely grounded in reality, where, you know, as long as you had your own legs and, you know, a good pair of shoes, you could haul ass. With Freddy Krueger, it was a matter of trying to stave off the inevitable, and that sooner or later you have to face your nightmares.
It was such an original idea. I mean, the thought of someone being able to harm you while you sleep is just horrifying. You're so vulnerable, you have no control. And then on top of that, the character they created was just iconic. There was no way around it.
There's kind of a delicious nature to his evil. He kind of takes such joy in it, and it almost puts you in the audience on his side, as opposed to in the victim's side.
No.
Freddy Krueger is charismatic with more than just his weapon. The character itself is an amazingly frightening, compelling character that, as a fan, I love, and as a producer, it was really important. If we are guys who are making our living making horror films, this is the best one that you can get.
Ready or not, here I come.
I looked at him as a mystery first, to try and figure out where he came from. I found that Freddy had very little in the way of a background and a mythology to him. We knew that the parents had killed him, and that the return to the nightmare was a vengeance for that, and that instead of going after the parents, he goes after the children.
In all the other nightmares, you don't really explain why Freddy is actually after these kids.
Right behind you.
What makes this particular reimagining so much more special is that we do give reason to why Freddy's doing what he's doing. It's a great reveal at the end that you actually figure out that Freddy is the person you thought he was.
Rex was always one of my favorites.
I think that the darker it got, or the more based in somewhat of a reality, the more weight the project and the story has. Some of the campier aspects kind of came about in the later sequels. There's a kind of a kitsch element to that I know a lot of people love and appreciate, that kind of Robert brought to the role. But that's not really what the film was about.
It's not really one-liners. It's not really winking your eye and doing this. This is a guy with a razor-sharp glove who wants to just brutally destroy you for what your parents did.
I can't, in good faith, go out and make a Freddy Krueger movie that feels like it's a sequel to the last ones that you saw. We have to create the franchise that is our own. And that begins with Freddy Krueger and how that character is portrayed.
You have a villain that only one actor has ever played. So in a remake of this movie, you truly are recreating this film and this character.
For us at Platinum Dunes, Jackie was the only person we ever wanted.
I saw the screen test for playing Rorschach, and I'm like, that's the guy. I mean, he's pretty sick.
We'd always wanted Jackie Earle Haley, and we went after him hard on this movie.
Where I first heard that people were even thinking about me for this role was on the internet. And it was fans suggesting that I might be right for this role. And my immediate reaction was like, that's kind of cool.
He embodied everything that we wanted. Fans are aware of him. He's nominated for Academy Award. He's a brilliant actor.
We'd seen some stuff on Watchmen. We'd all seen Little Children and loved him from his earlier films.
Instead of trying to build off of that whole franchise and continue with the same guy, you almost have to start over, and that's what we're doing here.
Oh, God. No. Just me.
It's just like such an amazing, iconic character. I mean, it was just an absolute honor to be offered the role and to get to go and play Freddy. It's pretty cool.
Found you.
When they finally closed his deal, everyone in the production office cheered, because there's a big difference between having an actor like that elevates things and maybe someone who could have done a good job with the role.
Jackie's obviously an amazing actor, and he's really good at doing dark stuff, but I think he's also quite funny. I can't imagine anyone else doing it. I think he's perfect for it.
When he has that makeup on and he's screaming at you and coming at you with knives, it's been very easy to play that fear.
This is a dream. I'm dreaming.
Freddie Krueger is definitely a fun character to play, just because he's so way out. I mean, he's so not of this world. Just the whole larger-than-life aspect of this character, it drew me.
He really does justice to Freddy Krueger. And he brings something unique. He brings something with his own voice that expands on the character that we haven't seen before.
Casting a guy with that kind of pedigree sends a message to the audience that we're serious about making a seriously scary movie.
This was kind of a cool process of getting in here and trying to figure out how to make Freddy my own, but yet, you know, not get so far away from what Robert did. You know, Robert did like this amazing job with Freddy over the years. He's made him who he is, this iconic, malevolent boogeyman. And Robert did it in such a way where there was a lot of comedy involved, and it was both scary and funny. And I think now what we're doing with Freddy in this new way is still kind of trying to be true with the things that piss him off, the things that make him so rageful, the killing boogeyman that he is.
When I was looking to recreate Freddy Krueger, I looked at all the things that we knew about him just on the surface and tried to find a deeper mythology or find a deeper reason for why they made him become so iconic. Why the fedora, why the sweater, why the glove? In placing him as a caretaker at a preschool, furthermore a gardener, I began to find deviations from that whole hat, sweater, glove that made sense to me, that applied some base logic to why he became the character that he is now. The gardening hand claws that he used, landscaping, the preschool suddenly turned into the glove.
This forward one little bit.
The sweater actually came from something from the mythology of the Pied Piper. The term pied meant stripes of contrasting colors. Finding that allowed us to seed some more mythology into the sweater itself by saying that, you know, here he is, he's come back for your children. So all that tied together and we realized we've made sense of this, so why abandon it?
This is an iconic character, and audiences are going to be expecting to see certain things, especially when it comes to wardrobe. We're going to give it to them.
For me, the iconic symbols of the film are the glove, the hat, the sweater.
I think we would have been crucified if we had not put the sweater, the hat, or the glove in there. I mean, I actually think kids would have gone nuts. Let's not self-implode by changing these iconic elements.
If you get rid of the hat, the glove, and the sweater, I think it's not Freddy Krueger. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you can't stray too far. You can show that sweater to almost anybody, and people will go, "Oh, that's a Freddy Krueger sweater." You can see the claw and be like, "Freddy wore that." It makes Freddy Krueger who he is.
We did several fittings on the hat, several tries on the sweater, and the glove. These guys slowly and meticulously put this thing right to where it needs to be. One of the things that we did that was a bit different is the makeup. Freddy now has a bit of a different look that's probably grounded a little bit more in reality. It looks more like an actual burn victim, but at the same time, too, they kind of put in a little undertones of boogeyman.
Everyone decided that we were going to go after the idea that he would look like a real burn victim. So we hired Andrew Clement, who's amazing.
The makeup stuff can be seen as a skill, but it's very much a talent. It's like being a painter. Andrew's unbelievable.
His drawings were different than everyone else we spoke to. On some level, you have to just jump off a cliff because you know fans are going to hate it. Initially, they're going to hate it because it doesn't look like they're Freddy Krueger. That's always a difficult decision to make.
When Andrew was designing the prosthetic, he and Sam were using the tools to mold it and talk about it, where the depth was and how thin it could get and what we could do to try and help things. All kinds of things, like his ears. Like, Jackie has his real ears. A burn victim would lose their ears first thing, so how do you balance that?
Looking in the mirror and articulating that makeup and seeing just how well it moves, you start to get a sense of a whole nother being, not even a person, I mean a whole other entity.
Ooh, sounds like fun.
I somehow just take that tone, that sense, and then give it to Freddy to run with.
Tad, you're it.
It's a reality of what can really fit and what can work with Jackie's individual face. There are trade-offs for actor comfort and speed and, you know, where appliances end. Every day we need to have a brand new set of pieces. This is a long makeup. There are a lot of pieces to it, so we're trying to find ways that we can sort of shorten up the time. And one of the ways that we can do this is by doing this contact adhesive. I'm just gonna put adhesive on both the appliance and his face, reactivate it with alcohol so we can just do large areas at the same time. It's really important for me to get everything really right. When I told people my build schedule, they said, well, it's a burn makeup, you can get away with murder. And I really didn't look at it like that. I want this to be really textural and real, and I'm seeing the lighting and I'm altering the paint just subtly to try and pull out some of those forms based on the way I'm seeing Sam light it. So it's a lot of thinking on your feet.
I'm gonna have to steal Jeffrey Dean Morgan's line when they asked him, so how did you get into the headspace of the comedian? He says, are you kidding? 3 hours in that makeup, I'd come out of that trailer wanting to kill anybody. And the same thing is true for Freddy, man. It's like, I'd go in there, I would sit down. It started at 6.5 hours of makeup. They worked the creative process down to 3.5 hours. It was an hour getting out of the makeup. You sit there for 3.5 hours with these guys meticulously gluing this stuff all over your entire noggin, and the last thing they do is put these contact lenses in your eyes. They're oversized. It really helps to put you in the headspace of Freddy Krueger.
Don't turn away. Look at me!
The makeup's amazing. It really is. You see and communicate with someone who's just so nice with this creepy-ass mask on. It's like you can't look him in the eye.
We're actually taking it a couple steps further, and we're actually removing pieces of his cheek, and we're doing a little bit of careful computer-generated technology, and it's gonna blow some people away.
That was the next step about how this movie was different from 1984. We were gonna affect his face a little bit digitally and do things that they probably couldn't have done back then. And I think that's something that the fans will be excited about when they see the new Freddy Krueger.
No, it's not real.
It's real. I'm real.
What we discovered in testing, and actually as we went through, that really the less light we put on it, the better. And the less light we put on it from the front, the better it looked. And it was also scarier. It's like the more light we just bring from behind and the more we keep the front in shadows, the scarier he looked.
The movies have been around for 25 years now, and everybody knows who he is. Yes, our Freddy Krueger is different, and he looks different. But they're coming to see Freddy Krueger. I'm going to see Freddy Krueger, so how long do you hold him back? You don't throw him out there 1 second into the movie, but you start in shadows and you slowly reveal your villain. It's been pretty effective on how we've done it in the movie.
Before we see his face, the fedora is such an iconic image, and it's really about that silhouette. And then every now and then we'll do just that tiny bit of rim light so that you sense his shape, and occasionally it's also about when you see him from the front, it's like getting that little glint in the eyes without really seeing anything else.
Remember me?
Really, at the end of the day, the lighting and all those things don't matter if you can't see what the actor's doing, if you don't feel what the actor's doing. And so with Jackie really able to manipulate that mask, you know, that makes all the difference in the world.
When he gets in those nightmares, you can really see how he really takes on that character. He just takes over that screen, his shoulders come up. It's the size of the character that he really brings to it.
He works well as this character who's of a smaller stature in real life, and now he's bigger than life in nightmares.
You're not real! You're not real! I am now.
I've asked myself, why have audiences embraced Freddy Krueger, this maniacal killer that you can't stop? It kind of gets back to that campfire story. We love to sit around campfires, you know, or at least back in the day, right? Sit around and tell like this scary story, and there was something that was kind of fun and exciting and titillating about being scared. And I think that the same is true for Freddy Krueger. He's kind of like this mythical boogeyman that's also an inside joke to the fans, to the culture. We know that he's fictional, and it's fun to have this sense of dread and fear, and it's almost like, you know, a giddy scream as he's coming after you. It's the only thing that makes sense, right? It's like, why do we like this guy? I mean, it makes no sense.
This character you're gonna have empathy for, you're gonna hate him, you're gonna be scared of him, and it's all what Jackie's done with it. It's multifaceted.
They're making Freddy a monster. They're making him a killer. They're making him just freaking scary, you know? Like, no jokes, no nothing. I mean, he's down to business in this movie.